YouTube, what's going on YouTube? What is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and now I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell good, family. Hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. And as always, man, it's positive energy, it's positive vibes, and most importantly, it is positive vibes only. All right, so we are here, Smell Good family, for my favorite video that I love to do each and every week, and that is the weekly rotation video. We're here for week 180, I believe, man, and it was a very interesting week, man. It's not often these days I'm like super blown away by anything, but there's one fragrance in particular that really established that, and it's going to kick off the week. But hopefully everyone is doing well, hopefully y'all are doing great, and hopefully everybody out there had a safe, productive, great week. And if you didn't, sending positive energy, positive vibes to you, and hopefully this upcoming week can replace what was. All right, so let's go ahead and tap into Sunday. Sunday was interesting, man. Yom Lil has been a house that I've been talking about their fragrances for the better part of a year now, maybe a little over a year now, and just spectacular work that they do. And this is one of the rare occasions where I've smelled an inspired take of something where I have not smelled the original. And if the original smells anything like this, which I have no reason to believe that it doesn't, wow. On Sunday, date night with the wife, from the house of Yom Lil, we went with Neelam. Neelam on Sunday. Now, what is Neelam? Neelam is a take of Boadicea the Victorious's Blue Sapphire. Whoa. I have very minimum experience with Boadicea, and I've smelled Bodacious. I've smelled 1709, I believe. Those are the only two that I've smelled. Shout out to my guy Duck 212 for sending, I think he sent both of those over. But this right here is this beautiful citrus, rose, amber, oud. It's amazing. The blend of this is incredible. Golly, this is my most complimented fragrance of the week. My wife utterly adores this. I made a couple of decants and brought it to some of the homies at work who, I talk fragrances with, blown away. They bought bottles instantly when they smelled this fragrance. This is something incredible that Yom Lil has done. And again, I'm not recommending this over the OG because I have not smelled it, but I already have Blue Sapphire in my striking distance to acquire because this is awesome. Great performance, great longevity, compliments galore. Again, I haven't smelled the OG, but I get the conversation of why this DNA is so beloved and so talked about. I know I'm a little late to the party, but so what? I got here when I got here, and this was an excellent introduction to that Blue Sapphire DNA. So I am going to acquire the original. Yes, I am going to acquire Blue Sapphire very soon, and you will hear me discuss how close this is to the OG, the differences, how close things are, whatever. We're going to talk about it. So on Sunday, on date night, again, my wife loved this. She complimented me throughout the evening, complimented me when I sprayed it on before we left our home. This is probably my best experience from Yom Lil. Full review coming on this one soon, and they have some bangers. But this is different. This is just different. Well done from Yom Lil. Can't wait to get my nose on the original from Boadicea. This was Sunday. Most complimented fragrance of the week to kick off the week from the house of Yom Lil. We went with Neelam. Again, their take on Boadicia's Blue Sapphire. Blue Sapphire. Simply wow. Simply wow. All right, up next on Monday, back to the office. Could not wait to wear this for a full wearing, and I did. I received one compliment, well, two compliments on this fragrance. This was second place for compliments, yeah, of the week. 2 compliments on this fragrance, and man, this was a real treat. From the house of Orman Jane, we went with Nawab of Oud, Intensivo. I love this stuff. I love it. This is a top fragrance experience for me. From the house of Orman Jane, and I love the house of Orman Jane. I have about maybe 8 or 9 Orman Janes at this point. I think I do around that number. But this right here is a true, beautiful journey of perfumery. This kind of these spices, this rose, the oud, just it's kind of like amber-like calmness in the dry down of this. And I don't even think amber's a note in here, but you just get this unique experience. And I'm a huge fan of a spicier rose, and the spices in here blended with the rose note in here is just fantastic. The transition starts off very spicy, works its way down, but it also reveals different experiences and different notes and accords in this fragrance. I've been hearing about this fragrance a lot over the past few months, and some of my favorite guys out there who do fragrance content, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube, have been championing this fragrance. And I saw the note breakdown, and I said, oh yeah, man, like this is my vibe, and I blind bought it. I don't recommend blind buying, but I did, and this is amazing. This is a 10 out of 10 fragrance, one of the best that I've smelled this year. It's right at the top. This is amazing, beautiful. Like I said, 2 compliments from my guys at work. Like I said, I talk fragrances with a group at my job, and shout out to my guy Ray. Had some good conversations about this fragrance, man. So from the house of Orman Jane to the office, just a masterpiece, man. Just a masterpiece in my opinion. Orman Jane's Nawab of Oud Intensivo. Not for everyone. This is not for everyone. Get you a sample. Don't blind buy like I did, because you might not be as successful as I was with my blind buy. But that stuff is amazing. All right. Up next on Tuesday, just was kind of a get it out the mud type of day. And these are usually the style of fragrances that I'm going for. All right, busy day at the job, prepping for a big time meeting for the later on in the week, and I just been wanting to get reacquainted with this fragrance for a little while now, and I went ahead and wore it, and it's awesome. It's awesome. From the house of Toomey, we have 19 Degree. Toomey's 19 Degree. Excellent fragrance. It does what Creed Aventus does without being Creed Aventus. You get a lot of the same elements. I'm just painting a picture for someone who may have not gotten their nose on 19 Degree and who's been interested. It does what Creed Aventus does, but it does not smell like Creed Aventus. You get this beautiful black raspberry, black leather, blackberry and raspberry and black leather in this fragrance. There's a little bit of birch in here as well. This is a very masculine, do-it-all, versatile fragrance that is different. This is a profile like this is just not out there like that, especially with the black leather and that kind of blackberry raspberry vibe that this has. Very, very interesting. Not along the lines of like Tuscan leather and other raspberry favorite fragrances out there in the community, but it's just kind of like you take that pineapple and that citrus out of Creed Aventus and really add in the raspberry and add in some leather, a little bit more stout leather, and this is what you get. Versatile, all day wear, straight to parfum concentration. Literally, I smelled this all day long. Excellent performance to the office. Just something you just can't beat wearing in an office environment. On Tuesday, this stuff is great, man. From the house of Toomey, we have 19 Degree. Great stuff here, man. Love the bottle. Toomey is very slept on and underrated. In my opinion, one of the good designer houses that are out there, man. I love Atlas. I love Continuum. They have some bangers. Check out Toomey, man. Don't sleep. All right. Up next on Wednesday. Wednesday was a meeting day, and I kind of switched it up a bit. Usually I go super fresh, super clean, not really trying to, impose on anyone because we all sit close together. But this fragrance got me a compliment. I was just kind of in the mood of something different, but something I was going to make sure, something I was going to wear to make sure that it didn't do anything crazy in a room full of people. that are sitting closely together. On Wednesday, on meeting day, from the house of Electimus, we were with Imperium. Just want a different change of pace, man. Change of pace. This did what I needed it to do. And it's a beautiful blend of like a Nishane Ani and a Creed Aventus, another Aventus style vibe. But for me, the vanilla really shines on my skin here. I still get all of the ins and outs of that Ani and Aventus blend. It's a great, great creation. And I just enjoyed it throughout the day. I mean, the wearing of this was just awesome. And I usually go, 5 to 6 sprays. And it did well. This is not a fragrance for me that just kind of gets out and runs and roars off. But it creates a nice scent bubble. It kind of stays, right close, I'm gonna say a little bit out, maybe a foot out of me. It just kind of does its thing. And I did receive one compliment walking into the meeting, into the conference room, and that was really it. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not looking for compliments when I wear my fragrances, but just being transparent with y'all. And this is one that I just enjoy. So normally I wouldn't go this direction because of, I guess, what the vanilla does. Don't want to attract any unwanted attention in that setting. We're in there to handle business. And then we're, going back to apply, those teachings to, where we are. But anyway, this is an awesome fragrance. Like I said, a great blend when you're talking Nishane Ani, especially the opening, and then the Creed Aventus, man. Kind of gets a little earthy, gets a little bit, I ain't gonna say dirty, but a little bit earthy, gets a little bit woody, and blends very well with that nice kind of soft sweetness that I get. It never becomes overpowering whatsoever, and as a change of pace that I was looking for, it delivered, man. You can get this for a great price on discounts. I got mine for like under $100. Under $100 when I got my purchase, man. So Imperium and other Electimuses are out there for great pricing. So great stuff from the house of Electimus. We have Imperium on meeting day on Wednesday. All right, we had another meeting. I referenced this earlier in the video, but Thursday was a huge meeting day. We had guests coming into our facility, so it was a big dog type of meeting, and just have you ever been in one of those situations, man? Hey, it's all about business. But in those meetings, I like to kind of step it up a bit. I'm coming in there clean. I'm clean every day, but fresh baldy, beard lined up, pulling out that very nice dress shirt, slacks, dress shoes, and it's just one of those type of meetings. And this is a fragrance that it's something about it that, if in my opinion, when I smell it and conversations that I've had about it, people are just curious, but bro, what are you wearing? Like, what is that? And this just did the job. It's just amazing fragrance from the house of New Notes. We have Akigala Mandarino Extrait de Parfum. This fragrance is awesome. It's the best of both worlds. You get fruity, you get woody, you get spicy with this fragrance. It wasn't too overbearing, it wasn't too much, it was just enough, but it also carries a profile that is different. And I made sure that I was wearing something that was different and not possibly running into what somebody else was wearing, because we did have visitors to our facility. And what is this, man? Beautiful passion fruit and apple, woods, spices. Beautiful, in the vein of Guranteed from Marc-Antoine Bois and Bois Imperial. This is in the vein of that, but they added some passion fruit and some apple up top. You can thank Amberful as well that I have from Mancero. Amberful and this fragrance are more related than they are to Ganymede and Bois Imperial because of the fruitiness up top. This is way more fruitier in the opening because of the passion fruit and green apple than Amberful. I prefer this over Amberful. Amberful is really, really, really good. I do enjoy it because it kind of tones down the fruitiness and gives me more like of a punchy, woody effect. I just like the differences between the two. It just depends on how I'm feeling and when I want to wear them. But for meeting day, being dressed a certain way, groomed and cleaned up, and wanting to wear something that was definitely, different. Nobody's going to be smelling like this because us as a community, we know a little bit more than the average person who wants to smell good. That's just the reality of it, and I use it to my advantage. All right, so meeting day, long meeting day. This performed literally all day long. No compliments, but I know for a fact the two guys that were sitting next to me, they knew what was going on. The visitors to my facility knew what was going on. All right, on Thursday, big meeting day, successful meeting day. We went with the new notes, Akigala, Mandarino, and this stuff is awesome. It is really, really good. Really, really good. All right, up next on Friday. Honestly, Friday was a day where I was just kind of, woosawing. It was a long week, a lot of prep for these different meetings and presentations throughout the week. So it was a woosaw day, casual day at the job, t-shirt, pants, sneakers, ball cap on Friday. And I just went with the fragrance that just worked. And it's really good. From the house of Chanel, we have Allure Homme Sports Superleggera. Superleggera, all right, from Chanel. Hey, if you smelled one Allure, you probably smelled them all. But I like something different about this, and why is that? I love how the citrus is like a sweeter citrus with this fragrance, like the orange in here is a lot sweeter, blending in with the woods, all right? Kind of get this kind of cedarwood, sandalwood thing going, but the orange citrus really drenches the wood, and it's outstanding. It's clean, it's fresh. You just can't go wrong with it. And like I said, Friday was a decompressing day. More of a not so hectic work day to end out the week, and I'm sure we can all appreciate that. And I believe this is discontinued. I think it was a short run on this fragrance. I believe it is. But again, if you have smelled one Allure Homme Sport, you've smelled them all. There are some subtle differences to the extreme with the mint, to the original, and to this one. But all in all, they do the same things. But I just really like how that kind of very candy-like citrus blends with the woods on this fragrance. Just really good, gets it done, very versatile, awesome fragrance. All right, from the house of Chanel on Friday, we went with Allure Homme Sport Superleggera. Starting to get a nice dent in that bottle, man. I know I can't get another, so I might need to slow it down. All right, and to end the week on Saturday, back to the office for a few hours. Had some things I had to handle, and I was just in this mood. It was cloudy, it was raining, it was a lot going on, and this profile fit, and Yeoman Lao, they're on fire. There's a reason why I do not have the original to this fragrance right now, and it's because of this one. From the house of Yeoman Lao, we're talking Maritime. And what is Maritime? Maritime is their take on Xerjoff's 40 knots. They did a spectacular job. When I first got this fragrance a year ago, the juice color was clear. Now it is like a goldish brown, like a goldish hue or brownish hue to the juice. Yeoman Lao does it the best. Out of anything inspired that I've ever tried throughout my fragrance journey, no one does it better than Yeoman Lao. Am I being biased with my preference? Sure, because it's my preference. But a lot of you have, experienced the house and do great work. I have a sample of 40 knots, and I absolutely love it. That salty, woody, slightly aquatic, slightly green presentation of that fragrance is unlike any other. You're not going to find a profile like that from anybody. That is a very unique fragrance. So when I got this in, this is like my third or fourth time wearing this. I'm like, bro, what is going on over there at Yeoman Lao? Like, how are they producing these styles? And transparency, does Yeoman Lao hit everything out of the park with a 1-to-1? No, they don't. But for the majority, from my experience, they've done a spectacular job getting you to that 90-95% accuracy rate with that DNA. But that's not what makes them great. What makes them great is the quality that you get. I don't focus on the how close it is to DNA. It's the quality that hits you first, and this is a very good quality. I'm not saying it's I'm not saying it's better than the OG. I'm not saying it's better than Xerjoff's quality. That is not what I am saying. I'm saying to my nose and where I am at in my journey that this holds it down. It's better than any other quality that I've experienced when it comes to an inspired take. And Yo Malal does originals as well. Tap into those. They have them out there ready for you. So I love this because there was something I was introduced to in this wearing that I haven't really got introduced to before. There was this kind of coffee-like nuance to this in like the mid going to the dry down, and I was tripping like literally for like an hour. I'm at my desk, I'm taking care of some emails and doing some things, and I'm like, yo, this is something I don't really remember, like a coffee vibe here, and it was there. So I goes to research because I just don't remember a coffee note at that point in time when I was looking it up. And some sites have the coffee note in it, so I knew I wasn't tripping. And then some sites don't have the coffee note. But either way it go, I got this kind of coffee nuance to the salty, woody, aquatic-y nature, powdery nature to their fragrance. It's so unique. And Yo Malal did a great job. Get your discovery set, see for yourself. Neelam, their Boudicca Blue Sapphire take. Maritime, their Xerjoff 40 knots take. See for yourself. Do not take my word for it. Get your discovery set and see for yourself. All right, I have the link in the description. Check it out. From the house of Yo Malal to wrap up the week on a rainy, gloomy, cloudy day. Really enjoyed my wear with this one. From the house of Yo Malal, Maritime. And I got a little dent in this fragrance, man. As many fragrances as I have and that I wear and that I'm always trying, any dent in the fragrance is a salute. For sure. This stuff is awesome. All right, Smell family, there you go. That wraps up the week 180. Hell of a week, man, for sure. Really enjoyed this week. Lot of different experiences and conversations and learning opportunities with my fragrances, and I'm just having a blast on my journey, man, and hopefully you guys are too. All right, hopefully you guys are having a blast on your journey. All right, so let me know what y'all wore throughout the week. Drop them down below in the comments. Very curious to see what you guys wore. What was a yes, what was a no, what was new, what was old. What do you guys got? What did you guys have going on in your week with your fragrances that you wore? All right, so until next time, y'all be cool, y'all be safe, y'all take care of yourselves. As always, it's positive energy, it's positive vibes, and most importantly, it's positive vibes only. All right, so keep it splacker up, splacker down, splacker that thing all around. All right, remember, what you put in this world, exactly what you're going to get back. Peace, y'all. Till next time, splacker.